So the other day I was thinking about all the things that I was wishing before I became a freelance writer, because I was like, wow, before I started freelance writing, there were so many things that I wish I knew after I became a freelance writer. So if you are interested in freelance writing and before you become a freelance writer, these are the things you should know about before you start freelance writing. All right, so I'm going to share with you, I wish I knew these things before I started freelance writing. All right, the first thing is I wish I knew I didn't have to start on content mills. Now, when I started freelance writing back in the day in 2014, everyone was talking about these sites, these content mill sites or freelance platforms. So like iWriter, I think there's BlogMud or BlogWriter, no, BlogMud. And then there are those freelance marketplaces like Guru, I think Odesk before it became Upwork. Fiverr, there's all these freelance platforms. That's what all I heard when I first started freelance writing. I didn't know any different. And so it led me down this path of doubt, of anxiety, of stress, because I would pour all my time into these content and then all I would get was less than $1 for it. And I didn't understand how these other writers were making money, like what was going on here. They were making money on Upwork and on Fiverr and on these places, and it wasn't working out. I was learning that a lot of those clients, I guess, that use those freelance platforms, their number one objective is to save money. They don't want to pour their money into a content marketing plan. They just want the cheapest writers to bulk up their writing so that they can have tons of blog posts on their website and pay cheaply for it. When I started doing that as a beginner, and I don't want other beginners to fall for that trap, that's why I share a lot on my blog posts and in these videos to help any new budding freelance writers not to do that. So I wish I knew that you don't have to start on content mills. Instead, what I suggest you use are freelance job boards. There are specific job boards just for you guys, for freelance writers. How great is that? Use what's out there. And a lot of businesses are more familiar with job sites. There's the common ones like Indeed, of course. But like I said, there are specific ones like Blogging Pro, ProBlogger. I do have a video on sites that pay, so I do mention some of those freelance job boards for writers. And then I do have a recent one on Writers Wanted that even talks about more job sites for writers, right? So there are lots for you out there that are reputable, that you can get started making, a decent wage with your writing. Okay, so I definitely would start there. And that's what my recommendation for sure, for all new writers. The second thing I wish I knew before I started freelance writing was that I shouldn't have focused so much on just like making money with my writing. Like I was so gung-ho, like I needed to land a client. I needed to make like over $100. Like I really wanted to make money. And then when I made the less than $1, out of like 3 or 4 hours of work, it really just like hurt my ego. And like, oh my gosh, like maybe I'm not worth it. Maybe, the people that are making lots of money with their writing, they just must be like 1,000 times better than me. I was so focused on money with my writing, and instead I should have been focusing on my marketing strategy. The only reason why I was doing iWriter at that time and then I signed up to Upwork for the profile was because I was just following what other people were telling me and I didn't question it. Instead, what I should have done was look at my website, my writer website, and learn how to market it appropriately. How do I get in front of my ideal client? And that's what you should be thinking. Yes, I know you probably need some income fast, but in order for you to have a sustainable freelance writing business, you do need a solid writer platform, and that is your website. And that's exactly what I teach in Write Your Way to First 1K is it's a whole module on your writer platform and all the different ways you can beef up your writer platform so that clients see you, potential clients and businesses find you easily, right? Because that's what you want. You don't want to, leverage your whole entire business on someone else's platform like Upwork. Like you really don't. You need to have your own solid base. All right. So that requires understanding marketing strategies. And that's what I did. Once I made those mistakes, I dove right into marketing strategies, and I ended up liking reading about it and learning about it and decided that would be my niche actually. But it doesn't have to be. If you are, gung-ho on, IT writing, you don't have to go into digital marketing because that's all you're reading about. Use what you learn in those blogs and those sites to help you market your business. You know, a great avenue is guest posting. You know, I learned about guest posting and that helped me get in front of my ideal client easily. All right, so I wish I knew that before I started freelance writing. The third thing I wish I knew before I started freelance writing is to stop asking so many questions. Oh my gosh, I had no idea that this was like a faux pas, a bad practice for freelancers. I didn't know. When I got one of my first few leads that actually came to me. I mean, this was like right in the beginning of starting my business. I was so happy that people were finding me and that they were contacting me for writing. Like I was like, whoa, ecstatic. And so there was this person who had a startup and they were eager to start their content marketing plan. And so they had all these ideas and stuff. And so, you know, I just, instead of reading the actual like context of the email, I just went into my standard, well, because I spent like hours devising this list of questions and my, you know, onboarding process. And like, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I just sort of slapped it on in my email and said, well, here are my questions, you know, please answer them at your convenience. And then we can start this. It was like a list of like, I don't know, probably almost 20 questions, like detailed questions. And this poor person who like just started the startup replied in an honest way saying that they were so shocked by this and they were like sort of taken aback that gave them anxiety and they didn't want to go further in that relationship. Oh my gosh, I totally scared him off on that. And I'm so sorry about that. Like when I think back, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Like I should have bopped myself on the head or something if I could have back then and said, don't do that. Don't send that email. Nowadays, I know the proper way to communicate with potential clients. I know that I shouldn't scare them with all that. You know, they are coming to me for help. And so a lot of them are brand new to the online world, brand new to blogging, brand new to content marketing, email marketing, all this stuff. So I need to tread lightly. And so typically, you know, in one of my videos, I share my process, was it from cold pitching to actually landing the job, is I walk through the process of how I do that now. I only ask questions when I need to. And if I need more information, I suggest a Zoom call, because with a Zoom call, it's more personable. I can really dive into what they want and they can tell me, you know, I need to listen to what they're saying, jot down notes. And those are valuable Zoom calls because then that immediately tells me their needs and what they want in the content when I can just listen to them talk about it. So that's where, you know, the years of doing this, making tons of mistakes come from. So I definitely don't want you to make the mistake. That's why I'm sharing this video with you that, you know, if before you start freelance writing, you know, don't make these mistakes. You know, I wish I knew these before I started. And then the last thing I wish I knew was that I wish I knew that the writing that I was doing back then was actual copywriting. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I was just writing for the sake of writing. If it was a blog post, I wrote a blog post. If it was a landing page, I wrote a landing page. I wrote like several media kits for bloggers. I wrote several landing pages for bloggers. I mean, I wrote an ebook for a blogger, like not like an ebook, but like a lead magnet for a blogger that was probably 10 pages. Like I was just doing whatever. And you know what my rate was just my standard rate of blog writing. A lot of those things were copywritten. That was copywriting examples right there of a landing page copy, media kit, definitely. Like I could have charged way more for that. And I didn't know. That was a big mistake of mine. And I wish I knew what I was doing, like actual things was copywriting. And there's going to be clients out there that will not take advantage of you, but they may know that copywriting pays more. And so they may ask you to write these things that are copywriting, but they will term it in a way so that it doesn't look like copywriting. So I want you to be careful with that. Like if you know these copywriting examples, they want some copy for their website. Well, that's website copy. That's copywritten, right? That's different than a blog post. This is where, you know, you need to understand the differences and what the like how much it pays for that. I want you to be aware of that if you're brand new, that's definitely something to look out for. I mean, I would always suggest to start with blog writing, and then you can beef up your blog writing with SEO writing and long form writing. That's what I did, and you can make good money with that. And then you can explore other types of topics like email sequences or like landing page copy or media kits, things like that for sure. Focus on one type of service there, and then when you're comfortable, you can explore other services. All right, so hopefully this helped you steer clear from those things and to focus on the right things when you start freelance writing. If you're interested in starting freelance writing, make sure to take my free course on Get Paid to Write. All right, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. All right, I'll see you in the next video.